Good evening, everyone, especially those who like ghost stories. Today, admin has another true ghost story from a man named Samnang, a 37-year-old man living in Cambodia. To make it easier for you to listen, I'll tell the story in first person. Hello, everyone. Do you believe that there are ghosts in Pagoda? I ask because some people have told me that Pagoda are places of Buddha and monks, so no ghost would dare to go near them. But in reality, I once encountered a haunting in a pagoda, though I won't reveal the name of that pagoda. Around mid-2018, I experienced a terrifying incident. I had gone to visit my cousin's house to return money I had borrowed from him earlier. Not wanting to go alone, I invited a friend to go with me. We left by car at around 3:30 p.m. When we arrived, my cousin invited us to drink beer. At first, we each had just one can, but my cousin kept adding more and more until 9:30 p.m. when we finally left. As we drove back, about 5 kilometers from my cousin's house, we suddenly saw a group of police officers. Typically, police working at night are conducting alcohol tests. Since we had just been drinking beer, we couldn't risk confronting the police if they found our blood alcohol levels were too high. We could face heavy fines or even imprisonment. So I checked the map to find an alternative route that would get us home. We continued driving along unfamiliar roads, hoping the map would guide us, but it didn't work out that way. The longer we drove, the narrower and more difficult the roads became. After passing through this difficult stretch, we entered a pagoda. As soon as we entered, we saw stupas or funerary monuments, both old and new on both sides of the road, where people keep their relatives' remains. The quietness and darkness of the place made us goosebump. Nevertheless, we continued following the map to get out of the pagoda and drove along a desolate road where we rarely saw any houses. The few houses we did see showed no signs of life. No lights were on at all. After driving about 2 kilometers on this road, we reached a point where the road was too damaged to continue, probably due to water erosion. At this point, we felt completely hopeless, with our only option being to turn back. After driving back along the desolate road for a while, we found ourselves back at the eerie pagoda. As soon as we entered the pagoda grounds, fear began to rise again. Suddenly, a large Bodhi tree on the left was struck by wind, causing its leaves to rustle loudly, which made us even more frightened. We continued following the map to find a way out, but unexpectedly, when we reached what the map indicated was an exit, we instead found a stupa with a fence behind it. I immediately got out of the car to examine the stupa, even touching it to see if it was an optical illusion or real. It was solid, definitely real. Not wanting to waste more time, I got back in the car to look for another exit. What was even stranger was that we could only see the pagoda's main hall and nothing else, such as the monks' living quarters, so we didn't know who to ask for directions to get out. After driving around in circles and still unable to find an exit, we checked the map on our phone again. When we drove to the location where the map had previously shown an old stupa, it had disappeared, leaving only a fence. I asked my friend to get out and check, but he refused, saying he was too scared. Suddenly, an old man appeared from the side of our car, walking toward the fence. He had hands and feet like a normal person, not looking like a ghost at all. Seeing this, I quickly got out of the car to ask him for directions, but he walked very fast. By the time I got out of the car, he had already reached the fence. To my disbelief, he walked straight through the fence and disappeared. This made my legs shake with fear, and I rushed back to the car. I asked my friend if he had seen what I had seen, but he didn't answer me because he was busy praying with his hands raised, reciting something I couldn't understand. Perhaps his prayers worked, because when we looked at the fence again, we could see an exit. Without delay, I drove out of the pagoda with mixed feelings of relief and lingering fear. After leaving the pagoda, we continued driving toward the main road, thinking we would return to my cousin's house to spend the night and go home the next morning. But the story doesn't end there. Shortly after leaving the pagoda, I saw something in the rearview mirror of my pickup truck, making it easy to see behind us. What I saw was the figure of the same old man who had walked through the wall earlier. Imagine if you were in that situation, how terrified would you be? I was with someone else. I can't imagine how I would have handled the situation if I had been alone. After driving a bit further from the pagoda, I told my friend to look behind us, wanting to know if he could see the old man too, but I didn't tell him directly that there was a ghost back there. When he looked back, he saw the old man just as I had, and he scolded me the entire way until we reached an area with many houses and people on the streets. Finally feeling brave enough, I pulled over to the side of the road, leaned my head out slightly, and said, "This is as far as I can take you, grandfather. I need to hurry to my brother's house." After saying this, I looked back and saw that the old man was gone. This meant my words had worked. From then on, nothing strange happened again. After hearing this story, some might say that we probably saw these things because we were too drunk. But I want to ask those who have been extremely drunk, have you ever been so drunk that everything you see turns into ghosts? I don't think so. That's the end of the story. Thank you all for taking the time to listen. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.